You know that all of the shit is going to blow the fuck up as soon as the players do anything, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Okay, no,
I-
just so long as you know.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to somehow break the monastery into the cavern. Like, just completely destroy the, completely destroy the mountain and destroy the monastery and, like, the Turn population all in one fell swoop.
Oh, triple genocide, let's go. TPK speedrun.
Please be advised, the following presentation is not intended for minors.
Yeah, probably should have some background music. Do you have like some kind of...
I have found some
like...
meditative Japanese ethereal ambient sounds.
Nothing.
Because yeah, if you couldn't tell by like the name of some of these places, yeah, this is very Japanese inspired.
Hey fellas, did you know that Jake is a filthy weeb? Have you noticed?
I sure am. I sure am. Anyway, so yeah, this is the world that I've made up. I've put like a lot more effort into this than I thought I would, considering like I know absolutely nothing about world building.
Does your regulars or stream, do you guys have a relationship with D&D before? Did you ever do any content like this here?
I haven't really done a lot of D&D content. Like, we talk about D&D a lot, but this is like the first time we've actually like done anything D&D related outside of playing Baldur's Gate 3 or Chronicles over Mystara.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
So we are making history here.
Yeah, pretty much. This fantastic way to like start off the year of streaming, huh? With something completely new.
So, great Dungeon Master. You wanna give the people like a small breakdown of what you have going on right here?
Okay, so the main thing that I want to do with this setting, so this is Fukinko, there we go. The main inspiration I got from this was when I was on my original break back in September, and I had nothing to watch outside of reruns of the Kung Fu Panda TV show. So
oh my god, there was a TV show.
Yeah,
that's right.
So I kind of wanted something like that. So the main gimmick of this is like right at the top of like the center mountain here is a monastery, which like the main plan is like the monastery is like a martial arts school and all that, specifically to fight kaiju, because this is heavily inspired by Ryoko's Guide to the Yokai Realms, which has like a whole bunch of
it has the cool PDF.
Yeah, it has a whole bunch, like it has systems specifically for fighting kaijus and like Sekiro style prosthetics, combo attacks like Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger, stuff like that. A whole bunch of cool shit. But yeah, it's like heavily like Japanese, Asian, kung fu.
For all the lovers of weeaboo fighting magic.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah. My the main thing, like I said, is this monastery. I specifically built it for kind of like drop in, drop out kind of games. So like pretty much everyone will start there. There will be like some kind of student at the monastery, and it'll be kind of like Monster of the Week.
Kind of like so for example, you could have multiple groups coming in and out of the monastery, each with their own adventure, right?
Exactly.
I see.
Because I still don't have a definitive group that wants to run this. I have two groups that are kind of interested, plus I also want
I'm right here, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, I also have, like, an idea of possibly, like, getting, some stream regulars in, see if they want to, run something like this. So,
that's really cool.
With a more, like, hectic, schedule like that, I thought, like, this is the perfect way to do it.
You might need to prep, like, at least... like 3 or so things for each, I guess, direction. But that could be really fun just by itself.
that's kind of why I have you here, because we haven't actually like talked. We haven't actually talked about it, but Bruno over here has way more DM experience than I do. I have DM'd a single game nearly 7 years ago, and that's the only like experience I have.
I have been a 5e DM, just for friends for about 4 years now, and I started DMing before I ever actually played a real game.
Wow, really?
Yeah, look, man, someone had to. None of those idiots were going to DM. I wasn't gonna fucking press them.
Makes sense. So yeah, if I click on any of these, like I have a very short summary of what I've have plans on. So specifically for the monastery. So you're sitting atop Fukinko's central mountain sits Yoake Monastery. The monastery's primary goal is to train the country's strongest to defend Fukinko from threats of kaiju attacks. That's essentially like the main hook.
So, is the monastery technically easily accessible? Like, obviously it's at the top of a mountain, so you need to be strong to get up there.
Yes.
But like, can basically anyone be like, hey, I am going to go up that fucking mountain, I'm going to talk to the weeboos?
Yeah,
Can anyone do it?
So this is the thing that I want to ask my players whenever they start. It's like, were you scouted, or did you make to the monastery yourself? Because the plan that I have for like some adventures is the Grand Master of the monastery every couple of years takes a trip around Fukinko, searching for strong warriors to like enlist.
Okay, that's pretty good. Going out there just yanking people for the call is like, you look like a protagonist, come with me.
Yeah, pretty much.
By the way, and if I don't get this out of my head, I'm going to be thinking about this for the rest of the night. You need some rude gaijin that are just gonna like him and go Fukinko yourself.
God damn
okay,
it.
Sorry. It was in my mind. I literally could not stop thinking about it. I had to get it out. Okay, let's go on.
I did not think of that in the slightest.
No, keep it. Keep it.
Brilliant.
It's gonna be fun.
Anyway, so there is a place right next to Yoake Monastery, Mizore. Cold and inhospitable to most, but Mizore has become the home of the Enko. So the Enko are a race of those Japanese monkeys that are often seen like in hot springs.
In hot springs? Yeah, macaques.
Yeah, those are the Japanese snow macaques. But that's what the Enko are. So
nice.
Yeah, their whole thing is they like to live in inhospitable mountains and make them hospitable to themselves. So the reason in my head that they are right next to the Yoake Monastery is because the monastery started as an Enko monk kind of like a monastery. Yeah, that's the fucking word.
the monkeys, they made the monastery possible to be, hospitable to people, and the monks just kind of like moved in later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's really cool. You could have all sorts of, depictions of monkeys and some things that the monks left there to kind of honor the Enkos.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. I also have, if we switch over here, this is some of, Ryoko's guide. So if we scroll up, there are two different type of Enko right here. So this is
Lord!
Yeah, we have the hulking Enko, which are like more gorilla-esque versions of them.
Big ape.
But we also have over here the springtail. They're small in size and they're way more agile than the hulking type. So
why do they look like they're going to blast me with a Kamehameha?
Because that's the whole, aesthetic.
Starting from the perspective of like a player, so they started the monastery.
They started the monastery. I have
I
have a whole bunch of NPCs ready as like teachers or like senseis and stuff at the monastery. I just don't know what I want to do with them. Like, do I want them to be like each NPC is based on one of the new subclasses that's available in Ryoko's guide. So I don't know if I want them specifically to be like oh, go to this person if you are a fighter and want to learn about, being a fighter, how to fight better. Or if I want to have them as essentially like group leaders, kind of like in Naruto, like a kind of Kakashi kind of character. So like people go out and like do their own adventures, and they have one of the NPCs trainers with them.
Well, I think the problem with that is, hey, so if you are, for example, a fighter and you want to learn how to do that, you're always going to have to find this one specific dude, right?
Yeah.
Feels a little restrictive. I kind of like that idea. I feel like what you could do. By the way, Star, are the monkeys the original natives of Fukinko? Are the ankles there?
I am gonna. No, I haven't actually thought of that.
I feel like that's probably not, unless Fukinko was like entirely covered in ice a long time ago. Maybe they were the original natives of the mountain range. Maybe it was covered in ice a long time ago, but not the whole island. They must have shared the land with other places.
I want them specifically to be the natives of like the mountain areas, yes. But yeah, like natives of the native race of like the entire country, probably not.
Okay, so for these like senseis, these masters, how much would they teach the player characters exactly? Like mechanically, would it be like huge things, like levels worth of stuff?
It wouldn't be levels. It'd be more like specifically teaching the players like the new stuff that's introduced into Ryoko's guide, like combo attacks and.
Like stuff like feats, for example, is like something extra.
Kinda, yeah. It's like one of them that like I haven't actually like made yet, but like is next on my list is the artificer. I specifically want him to be like the guy that teaches how the prosthetics work, how the prosthetic systems work.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I think that what you could do, and this is obviously just a suggestion, you could take that idea of like having group leaders, right? For example, there is like the Tinkerer Master dude, and he usually hangs out at the monastery. He's not there, but he has a whole bunch of students, and each are kind of like traveling around the island to master their craft. And so what you could do is, in order for someone to learn something new, they could find one of these students. They're not masters, but they know enough to teach you one thing, in the whole process of learning.
Right.
That means that no matter where the players go, they could conceivably find someone there that can help them out.
Right. Okay.
Now, it means a little bit more work because you need to think of like more NPCs. But if you leave them somewhat vague, right, you can kind of build them around, where they would be. For example, hey, you have a tinkerer in the party and they went all the way to Kisetsu, right? Middle of a lake. So you have an idea that you want a Tinkerer apprentice to be there, but it's this dude, he's focusing on some kind of prosthetic that has to do with water, like maybe a diving mask, maybe one of those ninja tubes that, ninjas would sink into the water and breathe through it. It would be something related to Kisetsu, and everything else you could kind of build around that, make it a little more natural.
Monster Hunter Academy? There is literal Monster Hunter carving system in Ryoko's guide as well. So that is the thing I need to actually prepare as well, because I haven't actually read that section yet.
I'm going to steal so much from this, bro. No, you don't understand. I have wanted to do Monster Hunter crafting bullshit for 4 years, never figured out how to do it properly. Just one thing, what works for me in particular, like just as a baseline, I think, what is going to happen if nobody interferes? Like, what is the main story without a protagonist / player characters? What happens exactly? Because from that point, I can be like, okay, so if they don't interfere with this town, they're going to do some bullshit, and the outcome is going to be this. Like, maybe a Kaiju is going to wake up here. And from there, you can kind of be like, hey, so if they go here and they interact with this person, that will change whatever, or if they do this instead, it's going to... You kind of like, you make the main timeline the pure timeline, and you just let the players fuck it up for you.
Right. So I have some stuff for that, like, I've made it a little obvious, like, over here, like, hey, there's a conflict going on over here specifically, so, like, that's something that I can flesh out specifically in that way.
Yeah, I think that would be good. So, like, is each one of these towns meant to be like, oh, you can go here and have a whole adventure in each one of these locations?
That is what I'm planning. Thing is, like I said, a lot of this is still very, very, very early stages.
Okay. I thought we're talking about D&D, not Monster Hunter. The two will be one and the same when I'm fucking done with you, Lava. Shut up.
Sounds like a lot of fucking work. Hey, welcome to being a DM.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
That shit's hard, man.
But so, for the whole setting, what is the main story? Like, let's assume that none of the shit gets fixed. What's the problem, and how bad is it going to be?
Okay, so the main problem right here, Imanada's Rest. It's the lair where the whale kaiju Imanada the Sovereign Undead lives. The main plot, well, I have, like, a whole bunch of, like, different, things, but this is, like, the main one that I have fleshed out at the moment. So yeah, this is where the whale kaiju lives. Its whole thing is, like, it is undead. It's, so, like, whenever, it swims by and, you know, does a whale cry and all that, like, because it's undead, it is, like, anything that is in the vicinity of its whale cry just dies off.
Oh, it's a big banshee. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a giant whale banshee. So...
Oh, that's metal.
So here, Kaigan, nestled on the shores of Fukinko, Kaigan is inhabited by the crustacean-like Isetsu. So they are people that are like lobsters and crabs.
Crab people?
Yeah, crab people, essentially. The citizens of Isetsu, do everything in their power to keep the whale kaiju Imanada at peace. Efforts to keep Imanada at bay are currently being interrupted by the Oni-born of Kirishaki Shah encroaching on their territory. So, the Oni-born over here are specifically fucking them up, which is causing them to stop their, like, rituals to keep the whale kaiju at bay, and if they get knocked out by them encroaching on their land and just wiping them out, yeah, the whale kaiju is going to just destroy everything.
Okay, so that is essentially the main crux of the plot is in, like, the southernmost part.
Yeah.
So that is where the most important things are. How would everything else react to the whale just, like, fucking shit up?
Good
Like,
question.
anything important would come from, say, Otoko no Hokori, because that seems to be a pretty big town. It is bigger than the others.
Yeah.
They have, like, a bigger armed force or something.
Okay, so Otoko no Hokori, I actually like what I wrote here for this. See, a port
Real
town...
question, where the hole's at?
Everywhere.
Thanks, lovers.
Yeah. But yeah, Otoko no Hokori, a port town developed by outsider races originally come to conquer Fukinko. Otoko no Hokori mockingly translates to the pride of man. Otoko no Hokori is often described as a stain on Fukinko's landscape. Large, grimy, and overpopulated, Otoko no Hokori is a hotbed of crime and is secretly run by the Yakuza.
So it seems to me that you basically have a whole lot of cool plots.
Yeah, I have a lot of cool plots, but I don't have them, like, all connecting together, is the main problem.
Yeah, what I said is, like, you have stuff, like, basically handed to you on the southernmost parts. So everything else, it's good if you could make, you know, whatever plots you have going on, all kind of come back to the whale. They don't have to be direct related to the whale. Just, you know, make sure that everything just kind of touches together, right? So Kaigan, we say that it's like, oh, it's a spiritual center. Like, hey, if you want to visit some shrines, if you want to pray in Fukinko, you go to Kaigan.
I had some shrine stuff set up somewhere. I think it was in EA? But,
Well,
yeah,
no,
like,
it's just an idea. It's just for the team, because, like...
Yeah, I know. Just trying to think how I could move some stuff around and still have everything, work.
Okay, so, and just here's something that I think might be cool. So, Otoko no Hokori, you said it's run by the Yakuza, right? So, what you could do, make it just be a big port town, lots of, gaijin, filthy outsiders coming in and bringing a lot of money. Because, making it kind of like a trade hub kind of goes with what the Yakuza would usually do, because they have a lot of hands in business and such.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you go there, one thing that you could do is, for example, just a plot hook. You could have, a lot of people wanting to leave the island because they're just getting the worst vibes. Like, man, the fucking whale, I can kind of hear it on the Dark of the Night. I'm out of here. Could be like this whole feeling of unrest.
Like, this whole section of the island essentially is just nothing but hostilities. Like, the rest of it is pretty fine as it is, depending on, what players do, obviously. But, yeah, like, this stuff is...
Oh, fuck, wait, that's
this
good.
stuff is specifically all hostile. Yeah, speaking of Kitsune, hey, that's one of the playable races. Yeah, their home over here is EA, right next to Otoko no Hokori. So,
Love it.
Okay, it's kind of like I have thought about this before.
So what I think would be cool, then you can kind of like split the island into 4 sectors, I guess. Like from Otoko no Hokori to... Damn it, I can't scroll.
I can...
Go down the map.
Yeah.
What is the Oni town?
Kirasaki-sha. Yeah.
Yeah, so from Otoko to Kirasaki, that's kind of like a hub of one type of plot. That is where it's close to the whale. So no matter where we go here, you're going to have something regarding either how, the Kaigen can't do their shit, or how everyone else is reacting to it. On the other side of the island, where Kisetsu is and Shokoku? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Shukaku.
Yeah, so Shukaku and Kisetsu, they could, since they are farther away from the whale, you could have something else going on in there that doesn't relate so much to it. But, how do I explain it? Oh, maybe could have some people that came from the other side of the island trying to warn people like, hey, I know that we have some strong people here. Why the fuck don't we go to Kirasaki and beat some Oni? And people are like, no. Why the fuck would we do that? Like, are you crazy?
Did you take notes from Stormblood? I'm gonna be 100% honest here. I have no idea. Like, I've played Stormblood. None of that plot went through my head. I legit have no idea what the plot is for Stormblood.
Are we going to have a weather system in terms of individual weather for unique areas? I tried to do that. It's a lot of work, and you forget really easily, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much unless you really want to focus on it.
Yeah, like,
which you could, but,
like, some places are going to, like, feel different, like, weather-wise. Like, Kanzo over here, like, I kind of show off it's more, like, arid, more hot than over there. And, Kisetsu, because, the river and, like, the huge, like, bordering water river, I kind of want it to feel very damp and, like, rainy all the time.
Okay. Alright. Other than the big whale sheep, what other big influences are there in the island?
Okay, so like I said, I have some hooks for kaiju, other than the whale kaiju over here, just in case other campaigns lead to other places, like Kisetsu over here. See, calm, serene waters trickle down from the top of Mizore, coalescing into the river that surrounds Kietsu, the city inhabited by the aquatic plant-like Fuyorin, the humanoid koi fish people, the Nishkin, and by extension, the Ryujin. The people of Kisetsu hold a yearly celebration to celebrate and appease Bakurio, the great sky dragon that makes the clouds of Funkiko its home. So yeah, specifically like a peaceful place, but like the whole thing is like, hey, we have to appease this otherwise peaceful, like it's a peaceful dragon kaiju, but can be like easily ticked off and like sent into
it's still a dragon.
Fight. Yeah, it's still a dragon. So you gotta appease it in some way.
Until it isn't.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Okay, no, that's a great hook. If you want to go with something that's really effective and basic that can like expand into a whole lot more stuff, just make this whole place, everything is under like a heavy fucking storm. Like from Chicago to what about halfway between Kisetsu and the other city, storm. Just fucking raining all the time. Nobody knows what the fuck the dragon is doing, but everyone is shitting bricks.
Right, okay. Also, if you want to
and
know
that's just an idea.
Yeah, if you want to know what the Fuyurin look like, they look like this. They're lily pad people.
Wood.
And as you can see, yeah, it's a playable race as well.
I like that they have a cool hat essentially imbued into their character design.
Yeah, that is fun. But yeah,
what other kaijus do you have?
I have one that was specifically the monastery itself. So one of the kaijus, if I can find it, hold up. Here's what the whale kaiju actually looks like.
Oh, that's gnarly! I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Kaiju idea totally not stolen from One Piece. Basically, a huge ass kaiju that walks through the ocean. There's civilization on its back. That is a classic. Like big turtles.
Yeah, of course you'd want One Piece stuff in here. Of course you would.
I mean, One Piece did not come up with this civilization on the back of giant creatures thing.
No, I'm saying
that is
just
classic.
Nathan really likes One Piece. Found it. Okay. Magatsuchi, the Aureate Heart is the thing that I'm thinking of. So its whole thing is spirits from like a temple or a shrine or something that have gotten so pissed off they have possessed the mountain itself that the shrine is situated atop.
Oh, that's sick.
So yeah, that's my main thing. So like I could turn the monastery itself into a kaiju fight.
So essentially, like all the areas of the island, they are directly related to a kaiju at least, right? They are kind of like a big center point of the adventure. That's sick.
Yeah,
that is pretty fucking sick.
I haven't like put a lot of things together for like a lot of the other ones, but I plan on having Kanzo have one as well with it's like a giant beetle, like a giant Hercules beetle kaiju.
Yeah, I have it open here. They call it the Kabuto.
Yeah. It's also I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a lightning tiger thing. I have no idea what I'm going to do with that one though.
Yeah, so are these kaijus like easily like can people see them? Do people know that they are there for sure, or are they kind of like legends?
Some are, some aren't. Like the Sky Dragon is kind of more of a legend. Like people think they can see it, but like usually it's like, oh, it's just clouds and all that. But like in reality, hey, it exists.
That is a really cool concept. Like essentially, all of Fukinko is all based around kaijus and how they either interact or have not interacted with the people there for a long time.
Yeah,
and it would be better if it stayed like that.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
man. So...
Yeah, that's my plan. Because like I said, I don't know who is going to be in this. It's like very drop in, drop out kind of thing. So I wanted like pretty much everywhere to have like some kind of connection to a kaiju at some point.
One basic plot that you could use in a couple places. For example, I'm going to go with the Yakuza again because that's what you already told me. Hey, city is kind of split between the people that is like, you know what? Giant monsters should probably not piss them off. What if they're real though? And some of them they're like, what the fuck is a giant monster, dude? Shut the fuck up. I'm going to go and mine. I'm going to mine the monster and I'm going to sell it to you for like exorbitant prices. Yeah, so people like selling kaiju powder, and some people are like, oh no, that's fake. They can't possibly have actually found the kaiju. But some people are like, I don't know. Essentially, some people that don't believe in the power or the presence of a kaiju could be inadvertently doing something, to provoke them. And it's only a matter of time, baby. It's only a matter of time until someone notices.
Yeah.
Tell me about Minato.
Oh, Minato? Okay, so we have 2 port cities here. So Otaka no Hokori is the one where, like, humans, elves, dwarves, all of that came in. Minato
the gaijin.
Yeah, Minato specifically is just the port city that, like, everyone from Funkinko uses, so they don't have to go to Otaka no Hokori. So we don't want to go to that shithole. This is where we go.
Oh god, everyone is racist.
Yeah, but like, this is mainly here. So like, if I'm ever done with Funkinko as a setting, I can have Funkinko races go to like other settings that I make.
Love it. That's really good.
Yeah, that's.
Could also use kaiju parts as a lucrative market, which is where you can get people migrating over for another part of the world. Yeah, like that is a really good hook, and it can be good or bad. It all depends on how you want to play this, baby. Let's go.
It's like, oh, that's actually really good. Because I think the Kabuto specifically, like the giant rhinoceros beetle, I believe like it's more than just one. It's just like one of them happens to be significantly larger than all the others, but like their whole thing, yeah, just their whole thing is like they are giant beetles that constantly fight each other. So what I could do is like have that be a hook, is like people come in, steal like bits of like chitin and carapace off of the beetles like after they've had a fight. So like the collateral damage and shit, and use that as like exotic goods and stuff. That's actually a good idea. I like that.
Hey, concept. So there are just like giant, big ass rhinoceros beetles.
Yes.
But let's say that most of the ones that people see are not kaiju size. They're just like really big. Oh, hey, like that fucking thing is about the size of a house. But if I take a boat, we're going to go somewhere where giants exist. So it's fantastic. But it's not all that. But nobody knows for sure that the big boy is somewhere in there. So then you could have this conflict where people are like, no, look, it's okay. We don't have a kaiju here. We just have big beetles. It's fine. We can go there. We can bother them. Like, what are you afraid of? It's all good. But if something gets really bad, if they fuck around and fight out too much, Kabuto comes out. And it's going to be mad as fuck. And that's going to be a big boy.
Yeah. Because, like, specifically, I think Ryoku's guide says, like, the normal beetles themselves, they are huge, while Kabuto specifically is gargantuan in size.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, yeah. That is perfect. Because I was specifically thinking of having them be, like, somewhere up the volcano of Kanzo.
But why would I mean, I guess it doesn't matter why the fuck the beetles would be there. They're kaiju.
Yeah, exactly. But
although there is... Oh, wait, you know what would be really cool? Ever seen Shaolin Showdown?
I have seen Shaolin Showdown, yes.
Okay, there was this particular Shangon Wu, I think they called it the Black Scarab. It was just like, hey man, it's an exoskeleton that can survive anywhere, even submerged in lava. The beetles have such thick carapaces that they can just fucking dive into the volcano and vibe there.
Oh, that's a cool idea. I like that. I really like that. Since we're talking about Kanzo, I should actually explain what I have written for Kanzo.
Yeah, hit me up.
So, situated at the base of an active volcano, Kanzo is inhabited by the lion turtles. The lion turtles were attracted to the dry and arid climate of the volcano, but they didn't really appreciate the whole being engulfed in lava part. In an act of desperation, the leader managed to contact Kagutsuchi, the god of fire. So specifically for this, I have like Shinto gods as like placeholders for things. So yeah, Kagutsuchi is the Shinto god of fire. That's it. So yeah, managed to contact Kagutsuchi, the god of fire, in hopes to stop the lava flow. Kagutsuchi agreed to keep the volcano active, but not have it overflow, as long as their settlement devotes themselves entirely to him. Agreeing to this deal, the lion turtle leader had become the voice of Kagutsuchi. This gave him eternal life, but in exchange turned his mortal body into an ashen statue. So the lion turtles specifically are psionic, so they can like they're telepathic. They're able to like speak to each other through like their minds and stuff. So my thought, this was actually an idea that a mutual friend of ours just flung out there as a shitpost on Discord a couple weeks ago. about turning some dude into, you know, like the Pompeii like death statue. So like this is
like
what
Han Solo in the carbonite block.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, this is the idea. Is like he was given immortal life, but he's stuck as a statue. Thing is, since his race can you know, talk to each other telepathically, he like people still talk to him and like come to him and his like carbonite frozen form for advice and stuff. And they like kind of view him as like a religious figure.
But the players will not know this, so they're just gonna be like, look at these simpletons, these idiots, these absolute fools.
Yeah, it's like, why are these guys just staring at this statue of another guy in silence?
Oh, by the way, just a second. Leon LMMMC, Shaolin Shodown is low-key goated. Dude, it's high-key goated. Shaolin Shodown is so good.
Shaolin Showdown was fucking rad. I love that show.
Dude, Shaolin Shodown and Jackie Chan Adventures. Peak!
That's some good shit.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that. So Kanzo would be where the Beetle Boys.
Sorry,
right?
I just had a thought. It's like, what if I stick an NPC in here that's just Uncle from Jackie Chan Adventures?
Yes, do it. Dude, Uncle even had a shop. He even had a shop. Okay,
he did.
Okay, so I think the area where you didn't talk about was EA and Muda.
Okay, so Tagayasu, Shukaku, and Mura I have nothing for outside the fact that they're just farming villages. So, you know, very, 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 very basic stuff. EA, though, let's see, originally disconnected from the rest of Funkinko, EA is the home of the Kitsune. While Kitsune love to travel and integrate themselves into different societies, they must return to EA every 100 years to undergo a ceremony to gain their extra tails. So yeah, Kitsune can live for 1,000 years, and every 100 years they sprout a new tail. So, like, I saw that in the book and thought, what if they need to undergo a ritual back home?
Hey, can do they accept visitors?
They 100%
asking for a friend.
Accept visitors. That's why they have
asking for a friend. It's me. I'm friend. So for the farming villages, something that you could do is you can borrow. What is that? You know that concept of Shinto? I think it was in Japanese culture where you could have small gods, or a mountain or something. The kami.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could do something where Muda, Shukaku, and what was the other farming village that had? Yeah, that each of them just has a kami kind of like looking out for them, and make the big thing they're based around that. And maybe their small gods have something to say or think something about the kaijus as well that ties it all back together with the main plot.
Right.
Yeah, like, oh hey, maybe the kami in Muda has had his shrine like toppled or just buried under a mudslide because the sky dragon just won't make it fucking stop raining.
Okay.
So he's real mad, but also he understands like, what the fuck am I gonna do about that, man? That's a dragon. But the kami would know something relevant, even if it's not directly dealing with the problem. They have been there for a long time, so they could have a lot of particular insights. And here's the thing, it should not be like obvious that you can get in touch with one of them, but I think the NPCs should all kind of like understand that as a fact of life. It's like, no, obviously we have the gods of the valley. What are you talking about? Are you stupid? Stupid gaijin? You don't even know. But the police were like, what the fuck is a god of the valley?
Right.
Because that makes it like a little bit of a neat little conflict. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Now that you look at it, you have a forest or like some kind of wooded area near each one of the farming villages, so you could put the shrines in each of these places. If you want.
Okay, so my plans for the forest themselves is like there are two different races that like live in these forests. Like one we have over here, the Tengu. They specifically live in like all of this area, and this one is actually held by the Gekoi. So the Gekoi aren't in Ryoko's guide. They are a race made by Arcanum. Arcanum. So
a nerf at Arcana?
No. He's a person. He's a former streamer. And I gotta say this. I gotta say this because this is controversial. I know. Just because I'm having his content in him, in my setting, doesn't mean I agree with the things that he did. Alright?
What? Do I even want to know?
Okay, so he was like one of the biggest DMs on Twitch, right? He was he was doing games for like Donkey, Takahata from Team 4-Star, pretty much every member of VShojo. So like absolute like huge people. Out of nowhere, just as I was getting into his stuff, he got outed as like an absolute like sexual creep and just terrible person who's abusing his like female players, trying to hook up with him even though he was married. It was a whole ordeal. Like we
call that small power syndrome.
Exactly. Like, that's exactly what it was. Like it sucked because like the stuff that he does was really good. It was really fucking good. So that's why like I got into it, because like I specifically got into it from his second VTuber campaign, which had Nyanas, Vebe, Haruka, Snuffy, and who was the other one? Who am I missing? I can't remember who I'm missing. Fruit. So yeah, like primarily VShojo players, and like his setting was also like very like Asian inspired, but like it wasn't just Japan, it was like Asia as a whole. So it even had like some like Samoan stuff in there, so there was like a race of people that did like hakas and stuff before they fight to intimidate the enemy and shit. Like that's cool.
That's cool.
That shit's cool. But yeah, like the second that came out, his entire career just fucking collapsed, pretty much.
It's almost like it was deserved, but I subscribe to Death of the Author. Like you take good work and you just pass it on. Yeah, it doesn't have to have anything to do with the original author, especially because it's not like he's getting paid for like royalties or whatever. So
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I have.
So what are the Gekoi?
Yeah, Just before I do that, I have 3 races from that setting available for this setting. So we have the Gekoi, the Tan, and the Hoask. So the Gekoi, as the name kind of spoils, they're gecko people.
Love geckos.
They
fucking adore geckos.
Yeah, they are gecko people. They are like males. Males are typically like spiny, while females are covered in feathers. Yeah, men have more desaturated, like darker colored scales, while females are more like brighter colored, and all of that stuff. What else? They raise their young as like a community kind of thing. It's like this is one thing I was reading on like on these races that made me go, oh yeah, probably should have seen this weird creepy shit coming. But but yeah, the Gekoi themselves specifically, they have like a mating season where like everyone just comes in, fucks, and then like has the eggs and then just leaves for a bit. And when
the big weird lizard hole orgy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah. But when they hatch, like the entire community raises them as a whole. There's no real like bloodlines, mothers, fathers, that kind of stuff. So I
remember hearing Joe Cat talking the game he did with him with Monteglue from Unexpectables, and how uncomfortable he felt as a player. Man, 1, that sucks. 2, F in the chat for Joe Cats. My man deserves better.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit.
Like he's legitimately just like the nicest fucking person. I barely ever like. I only watch his videos. Really, I didn't really manage to catch any of his content and such. But he passed the vibe check. Just fucking leave the guy alone.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like getting bullied because he likes girls. That video is cringe, but like it's a harmless cringe.
Cringe is good. You know what? I'm tired of base culture. Okay, base culture. It has no place for so many of us. I am cringe, and I will always be cringing to the day I die.
We
Who
are
the
literally-
fuck do I go to?
We are literally making our own version of Japan. We're cringe as fuck right now.
You have a lot of races in the setting.
Yes.
I'm seeing here.
Yeah, I do, because
Are all of them playable?
Yeah, they're all playable, yes. So yeah, even the weird, like, crab people over here in Kaigan are a playable race in Ryoko's Guide. Let's see if I have a picture of them. Hold up. Isetsu, where are they? This thing will actually goddamn load right here. They look like this.
What? Oh my god!
Yeah, they look fucking rad, right?
I wasn't expecting this type of crab. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, their heads are crabs, but like the rest of them, like humanoid bodies. But
Oh,
with, like,
Shogun
crab-like claws.
Hermitar.
Yeah, like that shit's cool. Yeah, the other races that I took from Arcanum are the Tan and the Hoask. Specifically, I want the Hoask to be like they're kind of like everyman. Like the whole thing is like they're kind of they're distantly related to Minotaurs. They're more yak people rather than bull people, but they're more humanoid than they are bull. So,
Dude,
like,
a Minotaur is already just a big dude with a bullhead. How more humanoid can you get?
they're essentially just people with horns. But yeah, I specifically want them to be like they're everyman. So they're most likely going to be, the people that inhabit places like Tagayasu, Shukaku, and Muro over here. But
okay, they're just everywhere. They are the plains people.
Yeah. As for the 10, though, I believe I put in like way more effort into their inclusion in the world than I did like the others. Over here in Hoshizora Caverns. See, originally a small cave system in the side of Funkinko Central Mountain, Hoshizora Caverns is inhabited by the Tan, bat-like humanoids with membranous wings connecting their arms to their torsos, allowing them to glide through wind currents. After the Tan population started to boom, leaving the caverns too crowded to live in, envoys began to leave in search of new homes. Instead, they managed to find the dwarf population of Otoko no Hokori and decided to strike a deal with them. Dig further into Hoshizora Caverns for the Tan, and in exchange, they get to live alongside them. So that's why
that is really cool.
That is why there's like two entrances. It's like one big like cave system. So like this is the entrance, that's the exit, and like in there is like the actual city that both the Tan and the dwarves live.
Is that mountain essentially hollowed by this point?
Not the entire thing. Like most of the cavern itself goes like more underground, but like the way that I have it set up is like the entrance and the exit is like that specifically, so air can rush through it. That way, the Tan themselves, while being in the cavern, can still like glide and fly around and stuff.
Okay, it would be a nice touch to if people decide to climb up the mountain. Occasionally, they just see like wind tunnels that were made there by the dwarves or the Tan themselves as well. I just think it would be neat. Also, it could have like really cool moments where someone is hiking up the mountain, it's getting dark, so they stop to rest by a hole, and they just see like this big fuck off shadow just ascending from the sky, and that becomes like a local legend. The guy just fucking, he's shooting bricks there, rushes down the mountain. It's like, bro, I saw Batman. I saw a shadow demon.
One of the NPCs, one of the NPCs I have for Yowake Monastery is actually a Tan. So like that could actually be like just them like going from the cavern back to the monastery. Just instead of climbing up, just flying through the cavern using the like air current to fly through and back up.
Yeah, wouldn't that be sick? Specifically because the idea of making specific holes so you can like control the wind currents, that is something that actually happens. Like they are essentially making sky highways.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
Big
shit. If they want to get really artsy with it, they could even make the mountain itself sing, by turning it into kind of a flute.
That would be cool. Yeah, that's a cool idea. But yeah, like the actual like city, I haven't named it yet, but like the city of the 10 and the dwarves, I specifically have like an idea of trying to figure out like what 10 architecture would look like and like integrate it with dwarven architecture, so it has like its own like unique mixed style.
I am really bad with architecture, but just
Yes,
thinking,
so
since
am
they're
I.
bad people, they probably do need, a lot of open space, even under the earth, so they can spread their wings and fly about. Because remember, bats are kind of tiny,
Yeah.
and that's why they can kind of like flutter and such. So I like to imagine that, shit, maybe the civilization underneath the mountain, it looks a little bit like what a big ass city nowadays would be. They build tall. They don't build wide. They build tall so that the bats can like go up and down and such. Maybe they're utilizing a lot of the space up and down the mountain. And yeah. Shit, what you could do is maybe there is a natural big ass chasm. Is that how I pronounce that?
Chasm.
Chasm.
Yeah.
Cosmic, yes. Cosmic, whatever. There is a big hole naturally occurring under the mountain, and that would make for a perfect place for the temp to fly out as well. And hear me out. Let me cook, okay? The hole could have all sorts of cultural meanings and such, but generally people could get a really bad juju from it. People that are not used to it or whatever, maybe they have guards, and if for some reason the players decide, man, I really want to see what is in the big hole trademark. They go in there. Lots of creepy shit, maybe some Underdark encounters, until it turns out that if you go far away enough, you get a back entrance to Iminauda's Rest.
Ooh.
And now you're in for it, Jimbo. And now we're going to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo. You better not pick up this fucking whale.
Ooh, that's a good idea, actually. You know what? I did not think of connecting, the caverns to the Underdark as well. That's also a really good idea.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not to the whole Underdark, but definitely dipping into it.
Yeah, there's a stretch of it.
But yeah, I think that would make for a really cool, option. It might be something that the players will never see, but it's a neat idea to have.
That is a really neat idea, yes.
Focusing a little more, for example, where would you expect, players to go first, for example? If you wanted, hey man, if people want to get a heaping serving of plot of some cool shit to do, where do they go first?
Okay, so specifically, like I'm planning a lot of these campaigns to start, pretty low level. So like the kaiju stuff, like at least specifically in Ryoko's guide, because I know that they're going to be handing out like a second guide specifically for like enhanced kaiju encounters. But like specifically, what we have in Ryoko's guide, they are like CR14. So it's going to be a while before like the kaiju fights actually happen. So like to start off, I'm thinking like have them just go into places like Tagayasu, Mura, and Shukaku. Like very humble like beginning kind of places. And a lot of the stuff is going to be just like yokai encounters.
I understand that, but what is the hook technically?
That's
obviously it's good if you want to what's the word? Make individual hooks for each character. I think it would be pretty. What the fuck is going on?
We got a raid from Nostradamus. What a name! What a name!
Oh,
hey Mary, what's going on?
I know him. He's a friend of Mary's. Hey, what's good?
Hey, what's good, everyone?
Hey Mary, hey Abby. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the raid. Hey, we're doing nerd shit.
We're talking D&D.
Yeah.
You guys ever wanted to go to Japan and throw Kamehameha at Godzilla?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to build at the moment.
Damn, I actually got distracted there. What's going on?
So
what's the basic plot hook?
That's the thing. For early levels, I don't have a plot hook. Is the problem? Like a lot of my ideas is for higher level, but I specifically want to start lower level and have everyone build up to the big, hey, let's go, like fight kaijus and shit.
Okay, I see. So the general idea that you said is that for people that start in the temple, they can get scouted or they can climb up the mountain by themselves, right? Okay, what I was thinking here, so people either get scouted by the weebus at the temple or they climb themselves up, right?
Yes.
What would be the baseline, like, for someone to get scouted? Is the Grandmaster just like, hey man, you're tough, you wanna learn how to shoot fireball? Is that the baseline? Or is it specifically like, look, we need tough people because we want to protect this land. Are you in?
Yeah, the latter is, you know, like my the main things. Like, yeah, specifically like looking for tough people that know how to fight. So
okay,
my guess is like have him, like I said, like super early in the stream, the Grandmaster every couple of years just makes a tour around the place, like looking for people. So, like...
So, in that case, it would probably be good if the Grandmaster, he kind of reached out to people, but not to fight kaijus, because everything's kind of going to shit. Like, just have a general state of calamities, like, oh hey, up in the north, there's just like this fucking flood of rain, and it's just going around and it's fucking up everything and people need help there. So, the Grandmaster goes and gets like strong people to help out there, and it could use this type of plot hook for all sorts of places, right?
Right.
Just say that there's something going on that is either caused by the kaijus or just a general disaster, and they need help. So the Grandmaster's like, you go.
Right.
And I think that would be like a really good, just basic plot hook.
You could make them go on missions from the monastery. That is, you know, like the main thing I was thinking of is, like super early in the stream, I was thinking like, you know, since like the idea is specifically for like drop in, drop out kind of play style. I was thinking, yeah, the monastery is more like a mission hub, like basically in like gameplay terms.
Yeah.
So like,
I guess
some places
general,
being
like,
ravished. Yeah, like some places being ravished by yokai. Go over there, like deal with that. You know, like that kind of thing.
Alternatively, could actually start them in a town, making a name for themselves to get recruited, so like giant rats. That could also work as well.
Sure.
Oh, one thing you could do is like, they start in an adventure and they get kind of involved with one of those masters or apprentices that, you said you had in there to teach people the new things.
Sure.
Right? And after they have their kind of, proof of concept, it's like, you know what? Pretty good. You're pretty cool. Why don't you climb up the mountain and go meet my master? I think that would be pretty rad.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's a solid concept. Honestly, at this point, I feel like you could already start running. And here's the thing, it's good to have a plot hook, but also I feel like players, they have to kind of be on the understanding. It's like, yes, I would like to play the game. I will bite the bait. I will not go onto a side quest.
Yeah.
By the way, they will go into side quests, but by that point you already have everything rolling.
Yeah. So yeah, I made a lot more than I thought. Is the thing. I'm guessing from. It's like, okay, as someone who has like never made a world before, like I kind of went overboard and like, through like pretty much every idea that I had. And you're just there, it's like, oh yeah, you have like more than enough. You could just go whatever. I'm like, oh, I thought I still had a lot more to go.
You would have if you were writing a book, but you're not.
Sure.
Like, honestly, half the time you're just gonna let the players tell the story, and you're just gonna kind of like, put some duct tape on it to make sure it stays stable. The three main places that they would go to first would be Shukaku, Mura, and Tagayasu, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have 2 or 3 adventures for each, like, just in mind, you don't even need to plan everything ahead of time. It could already go, and then you just kind of can expand. For example, if they go to Mura first, one adventure could be to like, oh hey, the Kami Shrine there has, been having some trouble and people have been falling sick. And somewhere around the way, they could have a chance of, say, meeting a Kitsune. And they get kind of suspicious, so they go to EA to find out more about her, and they start interacting more with the ward and shit. And then it just kind of like goes in from there. So long as you just keep feeding players things that they might be interested in and giving them a general direction, I think they will take care of that for you.
Right. Like, I didn't think of, like, any of that, like, at all. Oh, God.
You also could have the word basically run on its own as well, so if players don't do something next place by a certain point, then what happens? That's what I said!
Yeah.
Like, just know what's going to happen with no influence on the players. And then just play it out if they don't fucking do it. But yeah, so for like a really neat, meaty first adventure, do you have any idea of what would you want to do first?
As a first adventure, see, so I had one kind of like, it was like very basic, but like if we started at the monastery, it would start with like just training regiments, like mainly fighting like training dummies and stuff. It's more like an introduction to, like, it's more of an introduction to the game itself, because like a lot of the people that are actually like interested in like running a game with me have never actually played D&D before. So I wanted to like have a very, very, very basic thing for them.
So I understand that, but training dummies might be a little bit boring.
Yeah,
I think you might want to do something that is actually like dynamic. Like, there is a reason why goblins are usually the first thing people fight, right? Because you can make the story where they are real threats. Sometimes they might not kill you. I say might because because a pack of goblins actually they have quite the punch. By the way, you might want to not start at level 1. People are really fragile.
Yeah, people do not like starting at level 1. If anything, I'd start at level 2 at the lowest.
Yeah, I think that would be a good little thing. What sorts of enemies do you have there? I know that you're running yokai and such, but...
Yeah, like yokai is like a main thing, but like there's still going to be, like basic stuff like wolves, bears, yada yada yada, like all of that. The basic, like the good old staples.
I thought it was wolves being the first combat encounter. I love level 1 myself. So I learned that if you have an actual pack of wolves, they can be like a big problem, because pack tactics is no joke.
Yes, that one campaign, that one session that I told you about, there was a single fight. It was a pack of wolves, and yes, nearly everyone died.
Yeah. By the way, and this is something that it took me like 4 years to realize, D&D is balanced around both sides having tactics.
Yes.
I did not understand that for the longest time. That is a mistake.
Here are some of the yokai that Ryoko's guide actually has. So if we have like the aspect of Ashura, this thing is, challenge rate, CR 13, probably not the best for a first fight.
It's so cool though.
This thing though, it's a sentient shoe. This is CR quarter. So like, yeah, having stuff like this probably like starting off, it's like, hey, your shoes have come to life and trying to bite your toes.
Man, I love how fucking stupid a lot of yokai look. Like, Japanese mythology just has some bizarre fucking creatures. It's great.
I really, really want to do a thing with this thing, the Dodomeki. It's basically it's basically like a weird like spider woman that like is just like steals coins. Dorotabo, so like farmers that became undead, like mud homunculi.
Oh my god, the Abizo?
Yeah, Abizo.
Lobster people?
Yeah, giant lobster people that you can fight.
Oh my god, that's so cool. I love them. Yeah. Oh my god, I want to be that. That is peak performance.
Yeah.
So I think that you could have something here with the Jorogumo husk. You might need to tweak it a little bit.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
I think it's a really neat encounter, but it might still be a little bit too strong depending on...
Yeah, CR2 with a... Because, what did this have? It had something that, like, it devoured a player if they get killed and essentially returned to life as, like, a proper Jorogumo.
No, the humanoid's corpse is left suspended and encased with webbing inside the husk's carapace. Over the next 24 hours, the two fuse together, and the Husky is reborn as a Jiragumu that can take the appearance of the humanoid. Holy shit!
Yeah, for a CR2,
That's rad.
Yeah, for something that's a CR2, you do not want to die to this.
Yeah, no, by the way, this is not CR2. Like, not with 16 strength, dex, and con. No.
Yeah, that's some bull.
And this thing has multi-attack. This balance is fucked. This thing is not CR2 in the fucking slightest.
Granted, like,
no
challenge rating
way.
has always been pretty bad.
By the way, is there a general reason as, why yokai exist here? Or are they just there because they're cool? Because I don't know about you, but when I run D&D, I kind of have this concept that each monster kind of has a reason why it exists. Like monstrosities, they are technically naturally occurring creatures, but they naturally occur in a place with magic. So sometimes you just get, the stuff that's fucked up.
Right.
But undeads, there's something that's causing undeads to appear, right? They don't just pop up. Do yokais have a particular reason, or do they just exist?
I have not thought of that. Is the thing.
I mean, you probably don't need to. It just helps me work on my settings when again.
Okay, so specifically for undead though, like Imanata is like a giant undead whale that, like, when it cries, whatever it hears becomes undead. So, hey, giant whale kaiju. Yeah, giant whale kaiju creates zombies.
Oh, shit. In that case, you could have basically all the yokai, maybe one or two already existed, but with the kaijus stirring up, more and more yokai just pop out. I think that would be pretty cool. For example, again, let's go back to Kisetsu. Because it's been raining so much and there's stuff like landslides and people are in danger, you could be getting more of those zombie farmers made of mud, because those are the people that, drowned in the muds of the torrential storm.
Ah, good point. Good point.
Yeah. Everything just goes back to the kaijus, because then you can spend the whole game kind of like building them up on sheer presence alone, right? Because people can see how much the world is being influenced by these creatures.
Where's the isekai protagonist situated?
They're going to fall on the mountain.
They're going to fall directly into the monastery from a portal from nowhere, I guess. God, I hate isekai
okay,
so
so
much.
hold on. You have the big dragon, you have the big beetle, you have the big whale. Do you have any yokai like Minato or Shukaku? Not yokai, kaiju, sorry.
Yeah, kaiju. I don't have anything, but like one of the kaiju I haven't actually thought of a way to implement is basically like a giant humanoid white tiger with like lightning powers. Okay.
Oh, hey, another thing that you could do is we talked about the kaiju part, black market and such.
Yeah.
It could also be that, hey, maybe someone picked something from a kaiju that they fucking shouldn't have, even more so than the rest. And whatever they did is kind of bringing, yokai around.
Ah, that's an idea. Yeah. Okay, so reading the, this thing. Let's see. When the hair races on the back of your neck, when the air tastes of ozone, when the clap of thunder peels out from the cloudless sky, is that the natural phenomenon meteorologists attribute to air pressure and moisture, or is it Raiju releasing an exuberance of an emotion? These kaiju are the lords of the sky, travelers that manifest as wind, thunder, and lightning.
Oh, terrified.
Yeah, so giant sky lightning tiger man.
That is so cool. Which one is the sky dragon? Is it Bakurio?
Bakurio Ascendant Cascade, yes.
Should have both of them be fighting up there.
Oh, yeah, because... Oh, yeah, actually. It's like, Bakurio would be, like, around this area here, while, the other one would be, like, more over here. So, yeah, they'd end up fighting. Because, like, yeah, with the idea of, like, a constant, like, rain and landslides, that's probably, like, them fighting in the sky and shit. That's the result of them fighting in the sky. Ooh, I like that.
Isn't that super fucking sick, though?
Oh, I like that. I like that.
That is such a sick idea, man.
So yeah, like all of this is like heavy downpours of rain and lightning and thunder and stuff because those two are fighting. That's a good idea.
And sometimes there's like a lull, but there's just like things that come from the sky, and people are dying, or maybe there is like pieces of each other that just fall upon the sky, and they have these weird effects on the land there, and that's what causes all the yokai to come around. Like just crystallized kaiju energy mixed with, I don't know, the souls of the deceased in there, or some kind of like magic.
If like the fights get really bad, like splatters of blood from the fight land like on the ground and eventually become yokai.
Oh,
this is a good idea. We're cooking.
That's so good.
Chat, we're cooking.
Now, one thing that I think is interesting and important, they can't be fighting all the time. I think it can be something like, oh, hey, there has been the storm of the center here, and now there's kind of a lull. But everyone's just kind of like waiting for when it next starts. Because when it starts, it's coming down. Everything's going to shit when the kaijus are fighting. And it could
have that tie into like the yearly celebration that Kisetsu does, specifically to appease the Sky Dragon. Like have that be a thing. Yeah, like maybe they something got in the way, ruined the celebration, pissed him off, and started fighting other stuff.
Yeah, and maybe the tiger himself, like it says here that he is kind of like connected to the emotion of wrath. But obviously there has to be a reason why he hasn't fought with the dragon before, right? So what changed? And why is it the fault of the people of Fukinko? That's important. Like, what's the problem and why is it our fault? That's the important bit. Oh, bro, what if one of the kami themselves got kind of like hit by the kaiju fallout? So that could make for like an amazing early game boss, or like even like the mid game gatekeeper. Yeah, so I think that would be amazing. I really want to do something where like the monkeys kind of know something else is happening, but they're not sure, so they can't really tell right now. It could be kind of like an ongoing quest. Like there is a very wise monkey there just trying to figure something out, and as the players go into their missions, they can later bring something back to him, and but I don't know what it would be. Oh shit, no, I know. Okay, are you ready? I'm about to cook.
What you got?
So, the first thing that came to mind when we decided on the Sky Dragon, the big, battle of the big tigers, like, hey, eventually we're gonna need to fight these guys, right? It might be in like 10 levels, but eventually it's gonna happen. But how the fuck do you get to the sky? But that is where the Builder Monkey comes in. You see, if they are researching a way to just go to the celestial realm, as it were, call it something super fancy, right? Call it just something like needlessly elaborate, because that's what we fucking love, right? It could be something as simple as a potion, a prayer, some kind of instrument that would open a path to go to the sky and get to like, the Water Dragon Palace or something, or whatever you want to call it. Essentially that.
I was thinking. I was thinking you were going to go like the route of like they build their own like Tower of Babel on the top of like the mountain, so they physically have to climb the tower to get into the like clouds.
I mean, that would be sick too. That would be fucking sick too, wouldn't it? Or, oh man, so they could do that. Or, hey man, you played Breath of the Wild, right?
I have not played Breath of the Wild, no.
There ain't no fucking... Okay, fine.
I don't play Zelda games, dude.
Okay, listen. You have a whole hollowed out mountain with big ass fucking bad people, and they have air highways. If they can convince someone...
I see where this is going, because like, I know enough about Breath of the Wild to know where this is going.
Yeah, baby! It's like, look, they could do a thing where they convince one or some of them to like take them as high up as they can in the sky. Now, usually you would not be able to do that because bats just don't fucking fly that high. But if they get their allies together, like get the monkeys, the dwarves, and the bats to kind of work something out, they could create like this ultimate wind tunnel where all of the air kind of like gathers in it and then just shoots upwards. So the bats can really like just fucking jettison high up in the sky as they like bring the people up past the clouds with the electricity kind of like crackling on their armor and the wind buffeting their faces until they just crest over the storm clouds. And they just see like a scene that is something like an ancient Japanese painting of like two gods fighting.
Oh, he's cooking.
So cool.
Oh, that sounds so cool. My brother in Christ, you work for a Nintendo website. How have you not played it? I don't like Legend of Zelda games. It's easy as that.
That's my job. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's the thing. For every like mainline Nintendo game I'm not into, it gives other people the chance to play them for the website. I'm doing them a solid.
But you won't give people a chance to get the Shin Megami Tensei games, Jake, you bitch.
You fucking reviewed Persona 5. Shut up.
I wanted Megaten 4, Megaten 5, damn it.
That came in before you got hired. Come on.
I'm still blaming you for that. So I have spoken a lot.
Yes.
What do you think now, man?
Thank you so much for your help, because a lot of these things, I never would have thought of. Because, like I said, I've DM'd a single session 7 years ago, almost. So, like, any kind of, like, skill I gained from that just completely gone. Like, a lot of these things I never would have thought of. Because, like, I've always been a player of D&D, but, like, I've never really, like, properly DM'd. So, like, I don't have, like, this kind of, like, mindset of, like, how does this lead into this? Why are these people here? Yada, yada, yada. Like, that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, I mean, that is both the DMing thing and I'm a writer, right? So, it's just story structure. By the way, there is one caveat. You know that all of the shit is going to blow the fuck up as soon as the players do anything, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, no, just so long as you know.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to somehow break the monastery into the cavern. Like, just completely destroy the, completely destroy the mountain and destroy the monastery and, like, the Turn population all in one fell swoop.
Oh, triple genocide, let's go. TPK speedrun. So I think at this point we get to the fun part where if you already have the general, like, big concept sorted, you get to just sprinkle in whatever bullshit you think is just funny or fun. It's like, hey man, you want a Fox waifu? You want a Gundam? Is there anything that you wanted to add but couldn't figure out how?
How do I make travel interesting? That I have no idea how to do. It's like,
shit, man. What?
Yeah, with a place like this, with like a lot of places to go, it's like I need to figure out like what fills the roads. What will people like encounter on the way to certain things?
Okay, so I have tried to do that for a few years. It's kind of hard, and it sucks because I love travel. But I just couldn't figure out a way to play nice with the mechanics unless you make the game or the session specifically about that. One thing that I believe works well is obviously you could skip it, yes. Yep, sorry, that was a hiccup. But you could also do something where, like, hey man, cover the travel in like 2 sections and have people roll for something like maybe insight or nature and such, and make sure that if they roll well, or if they decide to spend some extra time on it, they can find landmarks. And the landmark can be something as simple as, oh hey, you find a crystal clear pond that is not frozen, despite it being obviously snowing in a heavy storm in here. Or hey, you find a pond that is just filled with these poisonous frogs, and you manage to catch some of them, and from them you make a poison that you can apply to your weapon, and so, or just like really interesting little tidbits of things that you don't have to linger on it. You can if they want to, but yeah, just make them roll a little bit for like nature or to find something, and the choice is theirs if they want to interact more with it or just keep going. And then you just add it on the map. I think it's important to have like a visual representation of like, hey, yeah, it's that thing that I found.
Yeah.
That is kind of what I would do, but I'm also not that good at travel, which sucks because I love travel.
It's like, I went looking for like a whole bunch of like random encounter tables, and most of them that I could find aren't that great. So I'm probably gonna have to like, you know, Frankenstein my own one together to make one like specific to this this setting.
I think it depends if your players really like to just fight shit, or if they're more interested in the story aspect, because there is a balance here, right? You can have random encounters because there's shit going on, and you can have the encounters that have to do with the story you're trying to tell. I like number 2, and kind of like sprinkle some of, you know, the first column into the main story. But I barely ever have to do random encounters because they're always doing something. And, you know, I just pick whatever it is that they're doing, but like, could use more punching people. And make that a solution. And they always find someone to punch. When they're traveling, you could even do something like, if there happens to be like a kaiju part in the road somewhere, they don't know, but you do. So you just roll, and they might have the chance to stumble upon it as, you know, a sudden development, but it might also be guarded or be surrounded by powerful yokai. Right? Yeah. It's like, it might be something that they discover and they can't or won't deal with it immediately, but it's marked on the map so that they know it's like, man, we need something that is really powerful, but where the fuck are we gonna find it? Well, there is that one tooth that was, you know, exuding 10,000 volts of lightning. Maybe we could go check it out.
A random tuft of fur that, like, electrocutes me when I touch it. I will...
Yeah, dude, you have like a really rich scenario here. You have a lot of shit to work with.
Yeah, I really didn't think I did, but if you say I do, yeah, apparently I do.
Don't worry, if you can't do it, I'll do it myself. Because now I know everything that I need to steal your ideas from you. Better get that patent, boy.